Hi! So what I did for my civic engagement project is, the first thing I did is I went to a city council meeting for the city of Kent with a couple other people from civics. And then I also went to ask Dana Ralph at the end of it for an interview with her, and I did that for my second activity. And then for my third activity, it was my last resort, so I decided to donate blood. But I chose the first two because I really wanted to get involved in politics, and I kind of wanted to talk to the mayor and wanted to ask her questions for a while. And I just chose the blood donation because, of course, it was my last resort, and I've done it before, and I like the idea of saving 3 lives. So I feel that the first 2 activities I did were the most important because I believe that getting into politics at a young age is important, because for me, I'm going to be a voter soon, and I've kind of done myself a disservice for not trying to understand politics when I was younger, and now here I am about ready to vote, and I'm not necessarily doing much to get involved. So I felt that these 2 were very important to me because if I want to be an educated voter, I have to know who's around me first and who's around my community. And for the blood donation, I've done it before, and it's very important to me to do a good deed. Giving blood for me is a huge deal, and having that trust in society and the community and knowing that you're going to save people with just the slightest thing of giving blood, I mean, that makes me feel good, and I felt good for an entire week the first time I did it. So, yeah. So, here are some clips of what I did. It's backwards, but I'm at Kent City Hall, ready to go to the city council meeting. Let's go.
You can all come up at the same, anybody that wants to speak can come up, and we'll just take turns. You don't have to, so no pressure.
Good evening, my name is Alejandro Rivera, and I'm coming from Kentwood High School for a civics project. I'm here to learn how our local government is working now, and I would like to learn something new today.
Stribling, I am from Kamryn High School. I am also doing this for my civic engagement project. I really wanted to bring it today because one, I wanted to see around things. I also really wanted to learn about how this works, and I'm really interested in how you guys are going to talk about the issues in our community.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Dan, and I am also a senior at Kentwood High School, and I'm here for my civic engagement project. I am also interested in learning about how our local government works, and I'm also wondering how we plan to achieve our goals on the board. Thank you very much.
Nice, well stay tuned, we'll talk a little bit about our new mission, vision, values, and goals.
Tax increase. This misinformation has created the impression that we do not support businesses in Kent because we made the hard decision to raise B&O taxes incrementally over the next 10 years. The mayor and council do support local businesses, and we want them to be successful. We did not make this decision lightly to raise the B&O. At the core, B&O is a poorly structured tax, yet one of the few options the legislature gives cities to fund operations.
Okay, so what I learned today is that there is so much happens behind the scenes that you don't see on the news when it comes out after the fact. When they started talking about the B&O tax and raising it, it was a slight increase, but it made so many people upset. And so it takes a lot of consideration and a lot of hard work for these people in the council to create budgets that will help fit everybody, but that sadly doesn't work. And what I learned is that it's hard being in that council. It's hard to listen to people who are concerned about their choices, but it's a rewarding job because you get to listen to so many stories and so many people's backgrounds, and you get really close to your community. I felt really honored to be there and listen to everything because it just made me feel like I have a closer connection to my community as well. I think that there is a lot to learn from being in a council and coming to city council meetings, and I don't think this will be my last time coming. I feel like this is a great learning experience, and there is so much that is going to be upcoming in the KIT community that I'm so glad I got to watch be approved. Okay, so up next is my interview with Dana Ralph. I wanted to interview her because my mom gave me the idea, and she's always telling me, like, hey, you're always asking these annoying questions about politics. Why don't you go up to somebody and ask who's in charge? And I was like, oh, okay. So when I saw her at the city council meeting, I just decided to go up to her and ask her for an interview, and she was more than happy. So I came up with 8 questions, and she tried her best to answer them. So here's that video. Just to follow that, Initiative 940 was just passed, and how do you think Kent will participate in the police reform, and how will it be enforced? If you have any opinion or insight on that.
So the thing with 940 is that one of the things that calls for is police training in crisis intervention training. Mm-hmm. The city of Kent has been providing that training to our officers for many years. Mm-hmm. So all of our officers receive 40 hours a year of crisis intervention training. Initiative 940 doesn't address whether it's looking for training in addition, above and beyond what we're doing, or exactly what the standard is. So that's still to be determined. The other large component of 940 is taking out language that is the judge for whether an officer-involved shooting was justified or within policy, and that is concerning to me because it changes the standard, and I actually am worried that we will see a negative outcome from changing that standard.
Okay. So we're just going to move on from the questions about police. Okay. Do you wish to see more youth like myself involved in politics?
Absolutely.
Have you thought about any strategies to get people involved?
So all of the commissions and committees that we have, Human Services, Arts Commission, Parks Commission, all of those, we have youth positions available on them. The biggest struggle is getting youth to apply. Mm-hmm. So anytime I get a request for an interview, a job shadow, all of those things, I try and make myself available so we can help encourage kids to be involved.
That's good. I have a more personal question for myself. As a Black youth, I am personally worried about police brutality and negative altercations. Have you given this any consideration? And how do you think, with your position of power, how do you think you will protect Black youth in Kent?
So I will tell you, we don't, I realize that is a problem across the country. I feel like my officers have a lot of training, and we do trainings regarding implicit bias and a variety of different things, and we are not seeing that police brutality is occurring here. I'm not blind to it, so I don't want you to say I don't think it's an issue, right. But I think training and the training that we provide our officers is what prevents it from happening.
Thank you. Alright, so this is what I learned from interviewing Dana Ralph. I learned that mayors don't like to answer questions fully, and they will treat you like any other reporter. But she did try to answer some questions as best as she can without sounding too opinionated. I had fun emailing her and trying to get an interview with her, and actually having an interview. That actually made me really excited, and it made me feel kind of involved in my community, so I had a lot of fun with that. So, here's me giving blood. We are on our way to get my blood donated.
I hate needles.
Yeah, he does. But I don't. Okay, so my phone died while I was giving blood, but I did snap a picture and a picture of me leaving. So yeah. Completed. Not dizzy, but I am pretty well lightheaded. Okay, so to be honest, I didn't really learn anything about giving blood, but I really did like the fact that I was saving 3 lives the last time I did it. So I chose to do it again because it made me feel really good the last time, and it made me think about helping people. Like, it really made me realize, like, oh my gosh, just a pint of my blood can save people. Like, that sounds really nice. And to sum this all up, I really wanted to get into politics. Like, that was my goal here when I looked at the list for the Civic Engagement Project, and I feel like I did that. And, you know, it made me feel like I was doing something, and that's more than what an average teenager could say. So I'm very proud of myself for that. So, thanks, Stanton!